When it comes to considering the defense and security of any country, it would certainly not be wrong to state that it solely depends on the strength of its military forces. Whether it is the Army, Navy, or the Air Force, the combination of these makes the entire defense system capable of protecting the state's sovereignty. This turns out to be one of the main reasons why a significant portion of countries all over the globe over-budget for their military. While countries around the world are spending billions of dollars to strengthen their defense mechanism, the main goal at the end of the day is to avoid external attacks and protect their respective nations. If you've ever wondered what some of the top military forces are across the globe, we've got you covered. From Russia to India and everything in between, here are 5 of the most elite military forces on Earth. With a budget of over $601 billion and an estimated 1,400,000 active personnel, the United States has long maintained its position as the undisputed military and economic power of the world. Their massive budget allows them to possess the most advanced arms and technologies, thus providing vast deployment all across the globe. Having over 800 military bases spread outside of the United States significantly increases their capabilities in defense and power projection. The United States Army consists of a total of 6 co-equal forces combined: Army, Marine Corps, Navy, Air Force, Space Force, and Coast Guard. The civilian-led and land service branch of the U.S. Armed Forces is called the U.S. Army. The Army is headed by the Chief of Staff, who is assisted by the Vice Chief of Staff and the Sergeant. Together, they are responsible for recruiting, training, and educating soldiers, creating plans for future modernization and development, and allocating Army forces or groups to combatant commanders. The United States Air Force is equipped with the most cutting-edge technology, aircraft, and air units than any other country on Earth. This department is composed of the United States Air Force Reserve, Regular Air Force, and the United States Air National Guard. With nearly 2,087 fighter jets, 967 attack helicopters, 945 means of transport, and 742 special mission aircraft, the United States Air Force is the largest and the most dominant amongst all air forces on Earth. Next in the row is the U.S. Navy, which is regarded as the largest navy by tonnage. Moreover, when combined with the Marine Corps, it forms the 12th largest maritime force in the world. They are responsible for conducting naval operations in different regions across the world, providing sea control and maritime security, conducting sea lift operations, and commanding the U.S. Navy SEALs. But that's not all, because as of 2021, the U.S. Space Force has become the world's first and only independent space force to ever exist. This force is put into place to ensure space security, provide information regarding space mobility and logistics, as well as conduct research for future development in space technology. With a budget of a whopping $48 billion and an estimated 1,014,000 active personnel, Russia has the second strongest military power in the world. Russia possesses the largest stockpile of nuclear weapons and the second largest fleet of ballistic missile submarines. It is one of the 3 nations that are currently operating strategic bombers. As per the Russian government's rules and regulations, all male citizens between the ages of 18 and 27 must serve at least 1 year in military service. Their military is divided into 3 sectors: ground forces, navy, and aerospace forces. The on-land or ground forces are responsible for commanding nearly 27,038 armored vehicles, 6,083 units of self-propelled artillery, and 3,860 rocket projectors. Russia has the world's largest and most numerous tank force with nearly 12,095 tanks, which is more than double the US. In addition to that, Russia also has the second largest and strongest air force in the world. Their air force has 873 fighter aircraft and 531 attack helicopters. With 64 submarines and 48 mine warfare ships, their navy happens to possess the third most numerous naval fleets on Earth. It is expected that the budget for the Russian military is to rise by 44% in the coming years. Recently, Russia also demonstrated its power projection by deploying soldiers in Syria and Ukraine. Over the last few decades, the Chinese military has grown rapidly in terms of both size and power. The country has made huge strides in its military modernization program and is in the process of developing highly advanced, game-changing technologies. It is the largest military in the world in terms of manpower and has an estimated active frontline personnel of 2,333,000. With its Generation 5 aircraft and ballistic missiles, it is the only country in Asia that can rival the United States Army. It is because of their rising global power projection abilities and significant regional defense that makes China the next potential superpower. They have the second largest defense budget of over $216 billion, which allows them to have the second largest tank fleet behind Russia. On land, their army has 33,000 armored vehicles and 3,500 tanks. Over the last few years, China has been building its navy by engaging its territorial disputes across the South China Sea. With 74 submarines, 52 frigates, and 36 destroyers, China has the second largest submarine fleet behind the US. Their aerial service branch, which was established in 1949, is composed of 5 units and has amassed 1,232 fighter aircraft and 281 attack helicopters. Through their constantly rising military funding, China is in the process of developing kinetic energy weapons, high-powered lasers, microwave weapons, particle beam weapons, and electromagnetic pulse weapons. In 2020, China surpassed Russia and became the largest arms exporter in the world. Since then, it has constantly been increasing its global presence as an arms supplier by making deals with several countries all across the world. This includes deals with Venezuela for armored vehicles and trainer aircraft, with Algeria for 3 frigates, and with Indonesia for hundreds of anti-missile ships. Established by the Self-Defense Forces Law in 1954, Japanese armed forces are the unified military forces of Japan. Their military consists of 3 branches: the Ground Self-Defense Force, the Maritime Self-Defense Force, and the Air Self-Defense Force. Japan's military budget has shown a constant rise for the last 9 years, and in 2021 reached a value of $51 billion. The country's ground force has an estimated active frontline personnel of 247,160, responsible for commanding 3,130 armored vehicles and 1,004 tanks. Japan's Air Force has 152 special mission aircraft, which is more than any country in the world other than the US, and an additional 119 attack helicopters. The country has 4 huge aircraft carriers equipped with attack helicopters. Their helicopter fleet is the 4th largest in the world, right after the US, China, and Russia. With 16 submarines and 40 destroyers, Japan also has a formidable navy fleet that is the 4th largest in the world. Although the military is relatively small, the country is very well equipped and makes up for the lesser headcount with its highly updated weaponry. The tension with their neighbor, South Korea, over the recent years has pressured them to upgrade their military and defense capabilities. It has also reignited the debate regarding the effect and relation of Japanese armed forces on Japanese society. This is one of the main reasons why Japan is engaging in international peacekeeping operations with the United Nations. The country has also acquired several new and updated hardware, equipment, and technologies, as well as increased military cooperation with countries like Australia, India, Taiwan, the United Kingdom, and the United States. Apart from China and the US, India happens to have the most active manpower than any other country, with an estimated active frontline personnel of 1,325,000. The country is growing to become one of the largest military powers in the world, and possesses the most number of tanks and aircraft besides the US, China, and Russia. In 2020, India became the 4th largest military spender on Earth with a budget of $50 billion, which is steadily increasing with every passing year. Consisting of 1.2 million troops, the Indian Army is divided into 4 main divisions. These include the Mountain, Infantry, Armored, and Mechanized divisions, all of which are commanded by the Chief of Army Staff. Their main tasks are to protect and support the country in case of foreign invasion or natural disasters, assert the territorial integrity of the nation, and participate in peacekeeping operations with the UN. The country has long been involved in a territorial conflict with its neighbor Pakistan over the Kashmir region. With 4,292 tanks, 4,060 towed artillery, and 538 fighter aircraft, the Indian Army has indeed become a force to be reckoned with. Their on-land forces are equipped with T-72 and Argent tanks, BMP series infantry fighting vehicles, and anti-tank guided missiles. The nation also has access to updated military technologies and advanced nuclear weapons. Due to India's diverse terrains and varied geography, their ground forces have rich combat experience. The aerial arm of the Indian Armed Forces is primarily responsible for carrying out aerial warfare. In addition to the numerous fighter aircraft, the IAF also possesses Apache helicopters, fast reconnaissance vehicles, modern individual weapons, self-propelled artillery, and air defense missiles. India's naval force is one of the largest in the world and aspires to become a blue water navy in the coming years. Nearly 58,350 men and women, along with 7,000 personnel of the Indian Naval Air Branch, constitute the naval force. India's large operational navy fleet consists of 2 aircraft carriers, 1 transport dock, 1 nuclear power, 14 conventionally powered attack submarines, 9 ship tanks, 10 destroyers, 4 fleet tanks, and several auxiliary vessels. Power balances across our planet are always changing. Every year, military budgets increase in size, and the technology is ever advancing. Who knows where things will be in the future? To see more videos just like this one, be sure to click the link on screen now. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.